Hello, and you're once again welcome to MES on Constructions, where we discuss all things engineering, architecture, and 3D modeling. Today in Blender, we'll be learning two quick different methods of how to easily trace the geometry of your mesh. But before further ado, please subscribe to our channel for more tips and videos like this on Blender, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell to be the first to see our latest video tutorials on Blender for 3D modeling and Blender for architectural design. Now let's get right into the video tutorial. So in method 1, we need a cube mesh. Leave your default cube or add a cube mesh as shown. I need to turn off my proportional editing right here. We can scale down our cube on the X and Y axis as shown. In this case, I scaled down by 0.2. In Edge Select mode, create loop cuts on the mesh. Now we can go on to turn on our proportional editing. Go to face select mode and select the top face as shown. Then ensure that the size of the proportional editing area of influence is larger than the size of your mesh, as only the area of the mesh covered by the circle will be affected by the changes made to the geometry of the mesh. Now, with the top face selected, you can press R and Z to rotate along the Z-axis in order to twist the loops across the mesh as shown. In this case, I rotated along the Z-axis by 180 degrees. I think it's good. However, if you want this to look even better, you can apply a subdivision surface modifier and select Simple. We can adjust settings to desired result. In this case, I turned up the level to 3 and left the rendered as default 1. We can also go on to apply a bevel modifier and give the amount 5, then make 10 segments as shown. The bevel modifier gives the edges more details. You may adjust the amount and segments as you like. We can also add a solidify modifier to give it some depth. You can turn down the offset to 0 and increase the thickness to 50. You can play around with these settings to get a desired result. We can also shade smooth to get an overall better looking geometry. Then you can go on to apply modifiers in object mode once you're satisfied with the result of your adjustments. This is it for our method 1. I hope you learned something new and interesting that you can replicate in your home project. Now for the second method, we can delete this and go on to add a cube mesh. In edit mode, scale down the cube on the X and Y axis by 0.2. In Edge Select mode, add loop cuts to the mesh as shown. Increase the number of cuts to 2, then toggle to face select mode and select the face of the midsection of the mesh. Delete selected face. Toggle Edge Select mode and select the edges as shown, then bridge edge loops. Set the number of twists to -2 and increase the number of cuts to 3. You can add one more cut to make it 4 in order to make a more visually appealing twisted geometry. Then I like to turn down the smoothness to 1 as shown. Now in face select mode, we can select the faces of the top and bottom parts of the mesh as shown and delete them. Press A to select the twist and scale along the Z-axis. In this case, I scaled by 3. This step may not be applicable to a more compact twist like the threads of a screw or a bolt. To achieve a more satisfying result, you can bevel the edges of the twists as shown. We can set segments to 8 and width to 15 as shown. I'd like to go and enable my screencast keys to display actions and buttons. I'm sorry, I forgot to turn it on earlier. I'm so sorry. Better late than never, they say, but I hope I'm forgiven. We can, however, proceed to bevel the remaining edges of the mesh as shown. I think it looks okay. To make it look even better, we can shade smooth. Then we can add an array modifier. Set offset along the x-axis to 0 as shown and input 1 as the value of offset along the z-axis. We can change our viewport shading lighting from studio to Matcap to better visualize the detailed edges of the geometry. Then, in the array modifier stack, we can click merge to eliminate the joint between the main object and the arrayed object. You can also increase the number of array as desired. This brings us to the end of this video tutorial on the 2 quick methods of how to twist your mesh in Blender. Once again, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this on Blender. Also, hit your notification bell to be the first to see our latest video tutorials. Thanks for watching and bye for now.